Alright guys, my name's David and welcome back to Lick Branch Farms. Today we're going to be putting in the second cucumber trellis. I came down late yesterday evening and started on the first one, as you can see behind me here. And this idea I got from Josh Sattin over at Sattin Hill Farms. I think he's up in Raleigh, North Carolina, about 2 hours from us. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty neat idea, and it was a good use of some, some simple T-post and EMT conduit and things of that nature. But yeah, I spent a couple hours putting it in, and the only reason it took that long was because driving the T-post in the ground, and this ground's pretty compacted because it's we're fairly new at cultivating this. But yeah, it was pretty simple, straightforward. I changed a few things the way I did mine, and I'll show you how I did that when I get to installing this one. First thing we're going to do is go through and lay off our T-post at every 10 feet. These are 50-foot rows, and these plants are spaced at 36-inch centers. So we're going to go through and put these T-posts in, and then we'll get started on the rest of it. So to start off with, we're going to go through and lay off the T-post every 10 feet. We're going to start with the first one. We're going to put the last one in. We're going to run a string across the top so we make sure all of them's even. I mean, you can be off just a hair. It doesn't matter because it's going to wave anyway, but we're going to go ahead and put the first one in, the last one, run our string, get a level line, and then we're going to start dropping the rest of them. Tricky thing is getting these 7-foot T-post started in this ground. Got to use a bucket to stand on. Just get the T-post driver up there. Alright guys, so you can see behind me we got all the T-post in, and I mean it really is that simple. It's the hardest part of this whole trellis is getting the T-post in the ground. That's really it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over and top each one of them with an 1.25 inch. It's supposed to be 1.25 inch all the way around, but my local place didn't have those. Well, they were out of them, so I got 1.25 inch by 1.5 inch. So and that'll work. But we're going to go through and put one of these on top of each T-post. And then we're going to get the EMT ready to slide down through there. So guys, we got all the T-posts in. We got all the T-fittings sitting on top of them. All that's left to do now is run the EMT through each one of the T's, and we got the EMT quick connects, 2 screws in it, screw them together, holds everything tight, and then we'll get dropping the lines down, and I'll show you how we terminate the tomato twine at the bottom of the plant. All right guys, so we got the T-post in, we got the T's on the top. So what we got left to do now is add the EMT conduit. Now, this is not very hard at all. Basically, you take these EMT connectors and you just join two pieces together. Like so. I'm gonna do this the hard way. And just put the two pieces together like so, and just keep moving down the line till we get them all in, and then we'll get them in the T's and make sure everything's good and straight. This has wants to pull on some of them, but once I get everything in and situated, then we'll straighten everything out. Alright guys, so hooking the tomato twine to the base. I told you I had a little bit of a different step that I did that I didn't see on Josh Sattin's video. Basically, I take my tomato twine and I tie a pretty good knot in the bottom of it, just so I got something that I can bind to. So I take the bamboo, and mine doesn't have little ridges in it. This is pretty smooth, and what I do is put it close to the bottom as I can, and take a pretty small wire tie, and I wire tie the string to the bamboo, or to the stake. I'm not there, it is a bamboo stake, but with the knot below the wire tie, and you have to pull it pretty hard to keep it from slipping. So that binds it to the bamboo, and then I trim them, and I go right at the base of the plant, not in the plant, not in the root. And I got to be careful because I got drip irrigation in here. I want to make sure I don't go through it. And I go right beside the root ball of each plant. And it cinch down just enough to put a little bit of pressure on it. And then I'm going to tie it off. Now it doesn't have to be, you know, piano string tight, just as long as it's pretty taut, because you don't want the wind to blow them around all crazy. But, you know, we do get some, you know, pretty rough storms come through here during the summer that can make them do a little jig. But if you look down here at this plant, now's a good time to go through and train this dude onto this string. Now, got a lot of stuff going on, which I haven't been pruning these, so I'm going to take time now to go through here and clean them up just a little bit before I start training them up the string. I don't want to get any fruit that's already on here tangled up in it to where to cut the circulation off. So So basically I'm just twisting it around. And they make little garden clamps, the little white tomato clamps you can clamp on to hold it to it, and that works. It just, you know, at the end of the season you got to remove all those. And they do make biodegradable ones where you can just rip them up and throw them in the compost bin or whatever to dispose of them. So that's an option too. And they're not incredibly expensive. I think you can buy like 500 of them for 30 bucks. So, yeah. So now, that's one. And I think there's 16 more on this line to do. Let me get rid of these. Tendrils are going to be cut off the base. Trying to get most of the leaves that I know we won't need. Close to the ground. So much of my disease is going to come in. Alright, so we got this puppy here. She is pretty much ready to start growing straight up. So what we'll do is go through and do the rest of these today and get them tied up to the string. And when we get done, it'll look like these guys here back behind me. And I got these guys fertilized last night. I'm gonna hook up the fertilizer injector on these today. We got some really hot weather coming next week. They're calling for highs 97, 98 degrees next week. And of course, as humid as it has been, the heat index is gonna be well over 100, I can promise you that. And I've got a lot of plants that's in trays that I still need to get started in the garden, and I'm afraid they won't survive in those trays, in those flats. So I'm gonna do my best to get most of my peppers and all that stuff in the garden today, and get a jump on everything before the heat sets in. So guys, I'm gonna spend some time on this row here, go ahead and get these guys trellised up. They'll look like these here when I get done with them, and then later on this evening, when it cools off some, I'm gonna hook the fertilizer injector up, give them a good shot of juice, and we should be seeing cucumbers here in the next couple of days. I know I see blooms down here, and I know on some of these plants I got small cucumbers growing on them, but this fertilizer, once we hook everything up and we give them a shot of that, it's gonna make them pop. Watch what I tell you. We've been harvesting out of the cool season garden right regular, and even though it's not cool anymore, we trying to get everything that we can out of here before we start to bolt. And plus, I've got my winter squash that I want to get in before too long, because most of them have a real long maturity date. I mean, 88 days, 95 days, and I got some spaghetti squash and a few other things that I want to get in this garden here. Here in the next couple weeks. I've got some cabbages going to be coming out here shortly. I've got this broccoli that's coming out. All of this lettuce is coming out, so we're getting a pretty steady harvest out of this garden. So we want to keep cutting everything to keep it fresh. And we're trying to utilize as much as we can while it's coming out. Like this broccoli here. You can see that's about the perfect size right here. We got another one right over there. We're going to get that one too. You take them up to my house. My grandson loves these things. But yeah, these fresh ones, you just can't beat them. So we're going to get this other one and we're going to carry these up to the house. So yeah, we got 2 good broccoli heads out of here. And these are, I mean, they're big as my hand. If not a little bigger. So this will be good stuff to go with supper tonight. I'm going to take these up to the house and get these in the refrigerator. And like I said, I'm trying to cut them. I know I could let them get a little bit bigger, but I'm trying to cut them as soon as we can eat them. Because this temperatures that we got coming in, this 90-degree weather we got coming in, I'm afraid it's going to make them try and bolt. So everything in here should be just about done. We can get another couple of cuttings off of these, so I'm going to leave them alone. I'm not going to pull them. But we'll see how many side shoots we can get off of them before, you know, we have to get them out of here. Like I said, I need this space here to plant my winter squash, my spaghetti squash anyway, and pumpkins. I'm actually planting some pumpkins in here. My grandson's dying to grow some jack-o'-lanterns, so we're going to plant some in here along with our spaghetti squash and probably a few other things. I know I got some beets going to go in here and probably another couple rows of lettuce, but yeah, for now, we're going to enjoy some broccoli. All right, guys, we got the sun going down on us. We got the sprinklers going on in the background. I'm getting ready to hook up the fertilizer injector on this row of cucumbers that we trellised earlier today. We got all of them trellised, we got all of them tied up. Every one of them standing up pretty, trimmed, pruned, ready to go. We're gonna let those sprinklers run a little bit longer, and right when the sun goes down, I'm gonna hook this fertilizer injector up and let it run for about an hour tonight while it's cool. And hopefully this week we'll be pulling cucumbers. I'm not sure. I mean, there's a bunch of them out there. They're just real small, but same thing with tomatoes, man. I got 1 million tomatoes out there. It's just every one of them's like that big around. Well, guys, I hope you found this video useful. Hope there was something in here you guys can use. Like I said, none of this was my idea. I found this on Josh Sattin video over at Sattin Hill Farms. I'll put a link up here, and you can go over and check his channel out. He's got a lot of useful information over there for market farming. But guys, if you haven't already, reach over in this right hand corner and click that subscribe button and click the bell notification so you get notified every time I put out a video. As always, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.